You've probably seen the headlines saying Japan's construction market is growing, but that top-line number you're seeing everywhere, it's a little misleading. Today, we're going to dig into the latest report from October 2025 to uncover the surprising story of what's really driving the industry forward. Let's jump right in. So at first glance, the big picture looks pretty good. The market is showing positive growth, which on the surface seems like a healthy sign. But like I said, that single positive number is hiding a pretty dramatic story underneath. And here's that number, a 1.6% year-on-year increase. That brings the total construction output to about 5.25 trillion yen. You know, it's steady growth for sure, but it is definitely not the whole picture. A 1.6% rise doesn't exactly scream boom, does it? Well, that's because it's masking a major shift that's happening just beneath the surface. And this is where the story gets really interesting. The real star of this report, the one sector that's practically single-handedly propping up the entire market, is private civil engineering. So let's break down what that actually is. Okay, now this chart right here tells you pretty much everything you need to know. The contrast is just stark. On one hand, you've got the residential housing sector. It's actually shrinking, down 1.5%. But then you look at the other side. Wow. Private civil engineering has absolutely exploded with a massive 17.8% growth. It's a tale of two completely different markets. So what in the world is private civil engineering? Well, think of it simply as an infrastructure boom. We're talking about huge investments in things like large-scale urban redevelopment, the construction of new factories, and a massive expansion of logistics facilities to keep up with e-commerce. This is where the money is flowing, and this is where all the activity is. And this slide just drives that point home. You can see a really clear divide. The private sector is the engine, growing at 2.5%, while the public sector is, well, it's almost flat at just 0.3%. So it's very clear. Private investment is what's driving this market, not government spending. Okay, so that's what's happening right now, but what about tomorrow? Well, the best way to predict where the market is headed is by looking at the backlog of confirmed orders. It's kind of like a crystal ball for the industry's health. You know, these orders on hand are such a powerful leading indicator. The amount of work that's already booked gives us a really clear window into the market's future strength and its stability. And let me tell you, the future looks incredibly bright, especially in some key regions. Just look at these numbers. Orders on hand are up over 15% in Hokkaido, more than 18% in the Kinki region around Osaka and Kyoto, and a staggering 20+% in Chugoku. These are incredibly strong figures. So even though that national average number looks pretty modest, the pipeline of future work in these key regions is incredibly strong. That promises a really busy and secure period ahead for construction companies there. Okay, so let's pull all of these different threads together. We've seen the headline number, we've uncovered the real driver of all the growth, and we've even looked into the future. So what's the final takeaway from all this? Here's the whole story in 3 simple points. First, the residential housing market is cooling off, taking a bit of a breather. Second, the real action is in private infrastructure investment. That is absolutely booming. And third, those really strong regional backlogs show that the demand for future work is looking very, very solid. So what we're really seeing is a major shift in focus, moving away from building homes and toward building the commercial and industrial backbone of the economy. And the big question this leaves us with is, how is this fundamental change in investment going to shape Japan's economic landscape in the years to come? If this analysis gave you a clearer picture of the market, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe for more deep dives into the numbers. Thanks for watching.